Hi everyone, I'm going to show you how to connect the wires on the project. I will show you how I've done it. You can find better ways, I'm sure of it. So for now I'm just doing a temporary solution, and I'm going to show what everything does and how you connect them. So this board is the board that will change the 12 volts to 5 volts for your screen. Okay, the screen works on 5 volts, and so what we want to do is only have one source of power. So in this case we're going to have a 12 volts power supply, and this is going to change for the logic voltage of 5 volts. This is the board that is going to get the 12 volts, receive the signal from the controller board, and then open the gate for your MOSFET to work. Okay, so what will happen is the board will say it's time for you to open, the signal will come to the board, and then it will let the 12 volts go to the solenoid handpiece. So we are getting the board here. The most complicated part of this connection is connecting all the connectors to the 5 volts. Why is that so? Because the controller board needs 5 volts, the MOSFET bridge needs 5 volts, and also your pedal needs 5 volts. So I tried to use a circuit board here. I tossed the 5 volts from the converter to 2 traces, and then I connected the pedal, the board, and the MOSFET bridge here. And then I divided 2 signals. The first one would be the signal from the pedal, and the other one the signal to the MOSFET bridge. Okay. So in this case, I connected the 12 volts board like this. Don't do that. Try to find a T connector to get the traces and make a solution like this, for example. So you will have the 12 volts coming from the board, from your power supply. Then you have the converter and the MOSFET bridge like this. This is the converter and this is the MOSFET bridge connecting to the handpiece. And then you have the MOSFET signal from the board that will turn on the MOSFET bridge whenever it's time to the handpiece. And we have the pedal. The pedal should be wired like this: the ground, the plus, the 5 volts here, and then the pedal signal to the board. In this case here, I found this connector that connects to the those breadboard wires, the jump wires. You can just use hot glue if you want to. This solution is okay because it's not going to move, so they are not going to disconnect. So look, you have your board like this, right? When you turn it around, you will see that on the left side you have the connectors of the board. So the board has 5 volts on the first pin. I'm talking about the pins on the right side. So you have 5 volts, then you have the ground voltage that is coming from your converter, and you have the white, there is the pedal, and the yellow, that is the MOSFET bridge. So you're going to connect 5 volts, ground, skip to 2 holes, then you're going to have white for the pedal and yellow for the MOSFET. I've wired this way because they are closer together. I'm using this type of connector, as I explained to you before. It's just a way to connect and disconnect whenever I want, and they have the same color here on the side. So you're going to see that we have the 5 volts coming from the converter, right? The 5 volts coming from the converter has to be connected to the pedal. So I get the ground and 5 volts connected to the pedal. And then I connected the signal wire to the signal of the pedal here. Then on the other one, that is the yellow one, I said the yellow is the MOSFET. The yellow is connected here. Then it comes to this point, and this signal on the orange one is going to go to the MOSFET bridge here. I'm sure you can find better solutions. I'm just pointing out why don't I have a final solution for this for everyone? Because not everyone will have the same access to the same connectors. I'm using this one as the connector for my handpiece, and then I said why, because I want to be able to remove and put it together. Then I'm going to make a box. The box is already done, but I will put everything together inside the box. So if you find the same connectors, then you can make the same solutions, of course, but it's like not everyone lives in the same region, so you can find a better solution that suits you. Okay, so in this case, what do we have to pay attention? Mainly the 12 volts part, okay? Because we do not want to short this, because the power supply might be super powerful. Then you have short circuits in a bad way. We don't want to make the wrong connection on the ground and 5 volts here. But if you flip the MOSFET signal or the pedal signal here on this part of the board, it won't be a big issue. Okay, they're using the pull down resistors, so you won't have any issues connecting this wrongly. Okay, so that's it. Thank you so much for joining. The next videos I'm going to explain a bit better the logic behind all these boards. It will be super technical details on how they are going to work. So just so you know, the board here will get the signal from the pedal. So the pedal is going to say how much is being pressed. And according to your configurations on the screen, it will release the energy through the signal on the MOSFET and say, hey, it's time for the handpiece to work. And if you have 50 Hertz, then the handpiece will vibrate at 50 Hertz. If you have 10 Hertz, the handpiece will vibrate 10 Hertz. This is the part that is controlling, because we did not want to connect the 12 volts to the board. We want to connect the 5 volts to the board, and then this is a way for you to manage high power through low power circuits. Okay. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope you have a great weekend. See you.